It's funny, is it not? Welcome to part 3 of Cupid. That was just me reading a line from like the last part. We're gonna go ahead and finish this story. I'm really immersed in it. I just want to go into it, and they always leave you. I really want to go into it and like actually enjoy the story right now, since we got rid of the icebreaker. Such is the way of the world. The more you love, the more you lose. Oh, it seems like they'll stay forever, but they never do. I'm the only one who stays, my lovely Rose. My love is the only love you need. You were always so weak, always so loving to people who did not deserve it. I told you to get rid of her, didn't I? I told you to be wary. I knew it from the start, my Rose. She was nothing but selfish. She led you astray. Oh, I thought you. um, she led you astray. Catherine was a curse. She drove you to a love I warned you about. I knew she would just cause you pain. She's dead? It saved me the trouble of delivering you from her clutches. She was poison. I am glad she's gone. Your silence bothers me, child. She was important to me, Mother. I I loved her. Mother only laughed as Rosa screamed out her pain. Rosa felt strong arms shake her awake. Rosa. She opened her eyes and was hit by a strange sadness that crushed her. She was dazed for a moment. Why was she so sad? And then she remembered. Her best friend was gone. Oh, she was gone. How did she die? Rosa, how are you feeling? Guilleme sat by her bed, a hand in hers. Rosa didn't realize she had been holding onto it tightly in her fitful sleep. She broke from its grasp and clutched her knees. Rosa. She remained silent. I came to check on you. You went into shock and lost consciousness. I can only imagine how hard it must have been for you to see her like that. His words echoed in her brain, yet she did not register much of her meaning. Rosa still refused to speak, and Guilleme's heart fidgeted with his glove. The wake will take place as soon as possible, Rosa. How in the world did she die? I just wanted to let you know that she's being taken care of. He's hiding something. There was a slight triumph in Mother's voice. He wants to get rid of her body as soon as possible. Don't you see it, child? Tell me you're not falling for this. Rosa was tired. The mother has a really bad outlook on life, but I don't believe that he wants to do all this, you know? Mother, always the cynic, would say such things. She hated anyone who came close to Rosa's heart. Rosa did not want to hear it. She didn't want to deal with anything right now. All she wanted to do was wallow in her loneliness. To curl up inside the hole Catherine had left behind and sleep. It's so sad that Catherine gave her a really, really good life before she left. My child, tell me you see it. Look at how he is unperturbed by Catherine's death. Remember the free in Catherine's eyes in her last days. I wouldn't say that he isn't, like, affected by the death, so I'm gonna go with this one. You have seen it, haven't you? She was mostly hostile. But sometimes, when her sanity returned, she was afraid. Afraid of this man. How well do you even know him, child? I've known him for as long as I knew Catherine, Mother. He is a close friend. I didn't ask how long you've known him, but how well. Beyond the mask that he displays in public view, do you even know his past? Do you even know any of his ambitions or secrets? He was always a private man, Mother. Think back, child. Isn't it curious how all his past relationships have ended in disaster? Everything he touches crumbles. That is not enough to accuse him of anything. You idiot! He is different. He does not belong. You have felt it too, haven't you? Rosa looked at Guilleme with new eyes now. A hint of doubt slid out from beneath her sadness. Rosa wanted something to blame, a cast for all her regrets. Guilleme seemed like the perfect candidate, didn't he? Yes, you're finally seeing it. Open your eyes, child. It made sense. Guilleme and Catherine's relationship began to pewter off into coldness right before she died. Her mental instability only served to compound the fracture in their relationship. Perhaps Guilleme was tired of her and had her killed off for convenience. Or perhaps Catherine, in her psychotic state, killed herself despite him. Rosa stared at the man beside her. He is not trusted, child. He is a demon. Guilleme returned to Rosa's angry stare with a resolute look. I know you must hate me, Rosa. I am aware that I only aggravated Catherine's condition with my presence. I know the feeling when I am not wanted. He stood up, a hard yet kind look on his face. Just remember that I will always be here for you. As much as I was there for Catherine, even though she spat me out. Rosa bit her lip. When Catherine had refused to eat, it had been Guilleme who fed her and attended to her. Despite Catherine hurling abuse at him, he had tried to care for the sick woman himself. Lies! All lies! Keeping up appearances! Then what is it that he has done, Mother? Catherine committed suicide. It was not by his hand that she died. Are you just going to leave it at that? Look at his face and tell me you trust him wholeheartedly. Rosa tried to search for the answer in Guilleme's eyes. But as always, his face betrayed only few emotions. I don't know. Mother was screaming now. He killed her! I am sure he did. And you're letting him get away with it. Please, my head hurts. And you said you loved her. You never loved her, you selfish child. I've always known you were this selfish. You're a monster. Just like your father. Stop! You throw people away. Didn't you throw me away when I inconvenienced you? Admit it. You secretly believed I died. No! Stop it! She screamed back that last voice. Her mouth quivered. Guilleme stared at Rosa in shock. The outburst had accidentally come out loud. It pulled the plug that kept the tears from pouring out. Now her vision clouded, and she blinked them away again and again. She was not sobbing. She did not even realize her face was wet. Guilleme and Rosa stared at each other, both kindred in their sorrow. He knelt down by Rosa's bed and wiped her tears with his hand. He did not say anything while doing this, and Rosa stared blankly ahead. It almost stunned her how many tears a person's eyes could carry. I love her too, Rosa. He said it after a while. I know what you're feeling. She didn't know if it was her own, or if Mother's anger was somehow influencing her, but her chest heaved. She balled up her fist so tightly that her fingernails hurt. Shut up. She spat, and the male recoiled at her uncharacteristic bitterness of her words. Catherine was afraid of you in her last days. You did something to her. I know it. She could feel Mother inside her head, building up her anger. He has to be punished. You are to blame. He has to atone. I know you are guilty. He must be punished. Guilleme stared at her dumbfounded for a few seconds. But the man didn't try to appease her. He only stepped closer to Rosa and wrapped his arms around the hysterical girl. Let go of me! I hate you! Let me go! But Guilleme didn't. If you need something to hate, then I'll accept your hate. But you must accept my comfort, too. I need you too, right now, Rosa. You were the only one who loved her as much as I did. Well, they're taking the father out of the equation. Guilleme's words brought back Catherine and Rosa's mind. Almost at once, the ankle was replaced with sadness so heavy she couldn't breathe. Why was she so angry again? She was focusing on anger instead of pain. It was easier. The real tears came, all for the loss of the girl they both loved. Tomorrow was not going to come. There was only right now the loss and the two friends mourning over. Rosa cried as though she thought she wouldn't be able to stop, and Guilleme quietly held her. Slowly, her weeping began to subside into sobs, and only then did she speak again. Stay in the chateau, Rosa. I know you were thinking of leaving now that Catherine is gone, but I can't let you wander the streets again. I will take care of you. It's what Catherine would have wanted. Like a spell being broken, those words brought her back to anger. How could you possibly know what Catherine wants? She pushed his arms away from her. She's dead. That's fucked up. Guilleme's mouth pursed, and he stepped away from her. I want you to go. Please leave me. Guilleme sighed and closed his eyes. I understand. He turned on his heels and left without another word. Hours seemed like minutes to her. She would fall asleep and awaken in unfit intervals so often that she had lost the exact time. Awake, she would stare at a part of the wall with no coherent thoughts forming in her mind. One would think morning should be spent in a depressive frenzy. All the reasons to grieve were yours, after all. She could wail now if she wanted. She could pull on her hair, curse the skies. She could reminisce about the past and write a filthy of human lives. Unfortunately, it was something less poetic. Pain was simple. It was clean. It was a well-sharpened knife that sliced through the heart in one stroke. No blood, no mess. Empty. When tears were spent, there was just a hole where your heart had been. The heart called out to you, it lingered. But since there was nothing there anymore, you couldn't find where the pain ended and you began. What? You couldn't find where the pain ended and you began. Rosa slept all day. The sun had gone down twice before she shifted from her bed. She stood up slowly, deliberately, with a purpose. My child, you know I hurt when you're hurt. Already a surge of power flowed within her, fueled by her grief. The power filled her up, and there was so much emptiness inside that the energy seemed to saturate her whole body. Purpose was always a balm for grief. Mother, tell me what to do. Justice. Start with his guilt, child, then deliver punishment fitting for one so vile. He could not get away with this. Rosa didn't speak, but she started to form the words in her mind, feeling them in her bones, giving life to every thought. She is much cuter with longer hair, I have to admit. She took a small knife and carved a symbol on her floor. It didn't need much, a guilt spell. It didn't aim to punish, it only aimed to inform. She needed to know how much guilt the man carried and the source of such guilt. If the guilt was concrete and came from a direct action, she would know Guilleme did something to Catherine. It had been a while since she had used magic. It used to be the only way she could protect herself from the world. Mother had taught her, and now Mother guided her as she cast her spell. She needed a possession of the man. Rosa opted for his voice, still fresh from memory. She focused on the last conversation they shared. If you need something to hate, I will take care of you. I need you. His words made Rosa feel distressed and confusion. Always, it was this way with him. The feeling wasn't foreign. It had been there for years. I will always be here for you. Rosa felt a violent force upturn her stomach. It was that horrid lurch just before vomiting. You failed! The spell collapsed in her brain. Focus, idiot child, or you lose your chance. Rosa tried again. This time, she focused on Guilleme's eyes. Cold, like flint of steel. Dark and fathomless. No grief except perhaps for the situation. No Catherine. No pain of loss. This didn't matter to her. Their relationship was dying anyway. Where was his guilt? Rosa dug deeper. She increased the chanting on her lips. No torment. No uncertainty. No guilt. Did the spell fail again? She searched once more and found nothing. There was no guilt in Guilleme's eyes. She could stop the spell now, knowing that he was innocent. If the spell had worked, then Guilleme was blameless. But this absence was most distressing. Rosa desperately pushed her mind further, almost wishing there were traces hiding behind her reach. Guilt should be present in any loss, no matter how little. Don't we blame ourselves for our own loss? Don't we hate ourselves and punish ourselves, even if it wasn't our fault? It didn't have to be real, but we need guilt to feel pain. But Guilleme didn't have a sliver of guilt. felt a sharp pain in her throat. Rosa clutched her neck, scraping and scratching. A sharp, jagged lump was blocking her breathing. She could feel its edges crawl up her windpipe, tearing the soft walls as it moved about. The pain did not stop. Rosa fell to her knees and gagged. Huge drips of blood-spotted spit ran down her chin. God. She dashed about like a woman being strangled. Rosa remained calm, unaffected by Rosa's distress. Rosa was about to expel whatever it was. Tears ran down her face. The horrible acidic taste coated her tongue. Finally, she opened her mouth and forced the vile thing out. She kept her eyes shut, afraid to look at whatever had come out of her. Something just came out of her body, but a choking feeling grabbed her, and she puked again. The liquid dripping out her mouth thickened and congealed. It wasn't spit anymore, but blood. It gathered around her knees in a growing pool. Rosa panted. Every breath was laced with pain, but the gruesome effect had finally stopped. She wiped the sweat on her forehead. Something on the floor reflected light. She struggled to comprehend what was in front of her. She reached out with her hand, and a prick of something sharp made her recoil. She tried again, this time seeing more clearly. Rosa picked them up with shaking hands. Needles. Wow, in her palms were a handful of long, metal needles. She had regurgitated them along with blood and jagged pieces of flesh. She swallowed needles? Rosa examined them with a horrified kind of curiosity. She stuck one in her thumb and it drew more blood. They were real. She materialized in her throat while casting the spell on Guilleme. Rosa wiped her mouth. There was something wrong with him. Something potent and dark. Or it could be that she had merely botched the spell horribly. She had pushed her limits this time. She had gone too far. But still, a tugging concern was forming. It was as real as the metal needles in her hand. Rosa tried to stand up on her feet, but she was exhausted. Her needles failed her, and she crumbled to the floor like a rag. Are you quite alright, my darling? Now you see it too. There is sinister force at work. There certainly is. Get up. We have a lot of work to do. We must find out what he is and stop him. Alright. So... Wait, Rosa stared at the needles in her hand. Who are you really, Guilleme? Anyway, this is where we're going to stop, guys. So thank you guys for watching this. And, we're gonna find out who Guilleme really is and why he's so dark and what's really forcing him to be this way. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like if you enjoyed the series. I think I'm really enjoying the visual novel so far. Please check out the further parts of the series so you can really find out what's happening with Guilleme and when the AnuthaOne part of this visual novel come in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.